I'm pleased we can finally meet. I'm Maria Euphoria.
I'm Somikazia. It's an honor to meet you. As you can imagine, I've been hoping to have a nice long talk with you at some point.
I feel the same. Even here in the Empire, your remarkable achievements are known.
Well, I didn't do it on my own. I'm also surrounded by talented people.
Such a modest king. It's been said good retainers follow a good ruler. Now, moving on to business. I wish to get right to the issue, Soma. Tell me what you're thinking concerning the Amadonia matter.
Right. In their eyes, after the Empire went through all the trouble of mediating our negotiations, annexing the country feels like a betrayal.
When John told me how successfully the negotiations went, I was happy to learn how harmonious our countries were, and how we had an ally in the East. Then again, perhaps that was a misunderstanding on my part. Yes, I'm aware that the citizens of Van asked you to reoccupy them after Julius's return. Although, the annexation of Amadonia as a whole is a different matter. As you're aware, the Declaration doesn't recognize changing borders.
Are you absolutely sure? Even though this will be a long story, please allow me to tell it. Once upon a time, two gods, one over the east and the other in the west. The god of the east said the following: "The world was created equally. Mankind, you shall all work the fields together, and shall distribute all of the crops equally amongst yourselves." On the other hand, the god of the west said the following: "The world was created free. Mankind, you shall all work the fields freely, and shall take the crops that you have harvested for yourselves." The god of the east said to the god of the west, "Your way of doing things will make the rich even richer, and those who are poor even poorer. The gap between the haves and the have-nots will only grow wider, until it's an impassable gorge." In return, the god of the west said the following to the god of the east: "If someone is allocated the same share no matter how hard they work, then mankind will lose their motivation, and all of society will grow poorer." The conflict between the two gods grew so large, it expanded to other nations that believed in entirely separate deities, and it wasn't before long, the border countries found themselves in peril. If the nations of the eastern and western gods were to ever start a war, the people living nearby would be the first ones experiencing the harm. And so, together with the other countries, they came up with 3 rules to prevent catastrophe.
And how does this fable conclude?
The god of the East's power continued declining, and an all-out war between the two camps was avoided.
Then everything turned out all right in the end.
For a brief moment, yes. But soon after, a group of people staged an insurrection for their independence from the multi-ethnic state. Unless their independence is acknowledged, the very principle of ethnic self-determination would be violated.
The problem is if their independence is recognized, then it would mean allowing all the borders to be altered.
Therein lies the issue. The nations that made these rules were ultimately paralyzed by them.
So you're saying the fable you told is no different than what's happening with Amadonia?
Yes. The Declaration is clear. It gives the right for ethnic self-determination. Signatory nations have no choice. If the Amadonian people take such actions, they must recognize them.
And yet, we cannot recognize the change of the Amadonian border, as stated in Article 1. What a disaster. So many inconsistencies.
You don't notice them. Not until events make the contradictions evident.
So that is why you did not sign onto the Mankind Declaration when you became king?
Yes. I just couldn't. It's a pitfall for any multi-ethnic nation such as ours.
It's sad to hear this news. We're a multi-ethnic state, the same as Elfrieden.